Next up on the number one tee.
Well, hello and welcome back to your virtual tea time. I am your host, Tori. And this podcast is all about women's golf. I mean, in, out, sideways, upways, downways. We are talking about women's golf from every angle. And today we are welcoming back Alex Anderson from Babes Golf. Hi, Alex.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You just frazzledly came up to the studio saying you had gotten in a car accident a couple days ago. That's such a pain in the ass.
The hip is the pain. That's the pain.
Yeah,
and
that's not good, especially for a golf swing.
No, I feel it in my golf swing. So I'm hoping it's just a strain and that's it. So.
And you are from California and you told me that you think Arizona drivers are worse than California drivers.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
It's a thing in San Diego. You know, you're driving around and all the zonies come into town during the summer and there's something about their driving. And so I'm like, I came out here, I actually had posted, you know, I got a cracked windshield the week before I got in the accident and everyone's like, welcome to Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a thing. And we get to introduce who else is here. She has her own experience with.
Oh, yeah.
I know. So, and then we have golf coach Natalie. How are you, Natalie?
I'm good.
I'm glad to have you back on. It has been a while. You were on
back.
later this spring or last spring.
Mm-hmm.
How's everything going?
Really good. Busy. It's busy season right now everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to get into
it.
that. But wait, how can you relate to the driving?
Because within the 4 months that I moved here, I had 4 cracks and then I had to replace my windshield. So I was like, yeah.
Someone was genius in the state to put gravel on every single, like along the highway. There's gravel everywhere. There's gravel in people's yards.
Yes.
There's just rocks everywhere.
Yeah. And I was telling Alex, it doesn't matter if you're behind a big diesel truck, it could be a Prius and they're kicking up rocks. So it's going to happen.
There was no diesel truck in front of me.
Yeah, no.
So I lived in Northern California for 3 years, Oakland, Bay Area. And I can't, that driving up there, like 880, 680, 580 is insane. Yeah, so it's hard to believe.
The Bay Area is completely different. Like I lived in the Bay Area. I grew up there and the traffic there is probably by far the worst.
Oh, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I love it there though. If I had all the money in the world, I think I'd live up there.
Really? Where?
I had so much fun in Oakland. We lived right off Lake Merritt.
Okay.
Right. And we would be walking to breakfast. And I don't know. I think it was just like a fun part of my life and a different part of my life. And that's probably why. But anywhere up there, Berkeley area I don't know.
Okay. So you were way more north than I was.
Well, and I lived with my sister at one point in Livermore over near Pleasanton. Yeah. So I don't know. I just love it up there. Where were you from?
I was born in San Jose, but I grew up in Hollister. So it used to be a farm town back in the day, and now it's more a lot of people from Silicon Valley have moved that way. So it's grown so much. It's just a different city than what I grew up in.
Yeah. Natalie, where are you from?
Originally born in Florida, but I say that I grew up in Roseville. It's like Sacramento area.
Oh, yeah.
Because we moved when I was like 7, so it doesn't really count.
I went to a Dave Matthews concert in Roseville.
Really?
That was fun.
That's awesome.
No. I don't remember much of that night, but it was fun.
But we also lived in Santa Rosa, so like kind of Bay Area, Sonoma area as well. So we've been all over the place in Northern California.
We're in Florida?
Orlando, like Mary's specifically, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, today we have like a bunch of different topics. So every once in a while, I poll the IG followers and I say, what do you want to hear about on the podcast? And there's a couple that I hear all the time, but I thought maybe we would try and check off a couple of them on this show. They're a little random, but before we get started, I wanted to remind everyone that we still have spots available at our Dansante Bay Invitational in May. And also our Pebble Beach retreat that's also in May. So Dansante Bay is May 4th through May 8th. And Pebble Beach is May 31st to June 3rd. Alex was at Dansante Bay with us last October, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was the most incredible experience ever.
Yeah. It's a spot where we bring together the community. We play golf. We dance.
Yeah.
We eat. We drink. We have a good time.
It was really hard for me to catch or keep up. You know, we had a lot of fun at night. Just like Sally and I, after our tea time one of the days, we went down to the beach with some of the girls and we were just drinking
and doing karaoke
on the beach. And the next thing you know, all these ladies start coming down and they're already like all dressed up for the night. And I'm like, we missed that part. It's like, we're just gonna join them. We're still in like our bathing suits and beach cover-ups. And it was so much fun.
I was one of those women that came down like for the nightly activities where Alex and Sally were still having afternoon activities. And the karaoke machine, it lasted most of the day, but it did break eventually. Probably sand got in it. I remember it broke, but how you guys are having so much fun.
Do we owe you a karaoke machine?
No, that wasn't ours. That wasn't mine. But I told Ashley, I said, figure out what karaoke machine that was and get it on Amazon because that was a party pleaser.
Yeah. Sally went and bought one for our range meetups now.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
That's why we're having karaoke night at the Desert Classic this year.
It's going to be a blast.
I mean, there's no way in hell I would do karaoke. Natalie, will you do karaoke?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what's your guys' go-to karaoke song?
I don't have one and I'm not putting one out there.
I don't do one either.
Yeah, no, me either. That's so crazy.
No, now you must answer. Come on. What's your go-to song?
Party in the USA. It's a common, everyone knows it. You get hype. It's
okay. Well,
yeah,
then
it has to be like
that.
a YMCA or like a Backstreet Boy song or Blink 182.
Yeah. You
like
had me at
something
Backstreet
that,
Boy.
okay.
Like everybody
Yes.
from Backstreet Boys. I could do the dance and sing all the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's all stored in my 90s
putting that on the
brain.
first of the list
Yeah.
when we do karaoke.
So actually, let's talk about Desert Classic because we still have the Babes Golf Before Golf event open too. We're recording this in January. I'm not sure if it's completely booked out yet or not because we're only taking the first 50 participants to sign up. But we're going to have a whole beginner clinic. Natalie's going to be there. Babes Golf is going to be there. And then we're going to combine with the Desert Classic ladies on March 7th. And, we're going to do karaoke and game night there. It's gonna be so much fun. So if you've been golfing for less than 2 years, this event is for you. Make sure you check it out in the show notes.
Yeah, I've been telling a lot of the girls about the night at the Desert Classic too, because that is a really fun part of it. And it was probably one of my favorite parts too. Yeah. It's always like the social activities after golf that are my favorite.
Absolutely. And that's why we do it. That's why we schedule them the way they are. But Coach Natalie, I'm going to meet you on the karaoke machine. Yes, I'll do it only with you though. With you. I think Casey Campbell, right? Ashley is bringing a karaoke machine. Like we had to reserve a machine and actually we have to reserve a bingo machine too. So I'm excited about that. All right, so let's get into it. Our first topic, I get this every single time, and it is playing on a budget. Like, what tips do we have for playing golf on a budget? Because let's get real. This sport is very expensive. And if you live in Arizona, it is extremely expensive. I don't know what it is, but the golf industry, the costs just keep going up and up and up and up. So let's share about ways that we can play golf on a budget. What do you got? Alex, you got something for us?
Yeah, I always tell the girls, especially if they don't have clubs yet, just get used clubs. Mm-hmm. You can go to, if you're in San Diego, you can go to Golf Mart. They will actually help you get you set up and like at least a decent set to get you started. And then like I know here in Arizona, they have that second swing. Mm-hmm. So there is options to get like a really cheap beginner set or just a used set. And if you already have clubs and just want to get out there, I always tell the girls, you can go putt for free. Like you can go to the putting green and drop some balls and start putting. And if you're practicing putting more than your swing, then you're probably going to be better than most people because that's not how I started. I started with my driver because that was my favorite. And I just wanted to hit bombs all the time. Yeah. So I think that's a really good, affordable way to just practice. And there's so many drills that you can do at home and videos that you can watch. And your program's really great too. It gives you everything you need to know and you can do that from home.
Yeah. And actually I played with 3 ladies this past week, all of which were between a 25 and a 30 handicap. And I was watching their game and they hit the ball really well. I mean, they hit the ball, usually it's straight right down the middle, and their putting was really what they were struggling with. And I wanted to like shake them and be like, just go practice your putting. You don't realize how many strokes you're giving up by just 3 putting, 4 putting, or even 5 putting sometimes. Like, and a lot of between, you know, short putts, 3-foot putts that they're missing too. So it's, you know, I say it all the time. I know I'm probably boring, but to see it firsthand like that, like there's just so much improvement to be made just by practicing your putting for sure.
Yeah.
But Natalie, what do you have for playing on a budget?
No, 100%. I agree. I think it's really easy to get caught up in needing the latest and greatest technology. I think we're always seeing like the ads for it, and we're seeing what other golfers have. And, you know, it's everything from the outfits. It's everything from the whole set. It's everything from the fancy head covers if you need them. And I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on it. I'm like
It's
that
fun.
too.
It's fun.
Absolutely. It's really easy to get caught up into it. But if you're just starting out, you don't need the whole, you know, 14 clubs in the bag kind of thing. I agree with putting. I agree with just a wedge, like a 7
Yeah,
or
let's
8
stop
iron.
right there. Let's
Yeah.
go through. Why don't you give us 8 clubs? Like if we just need 8 clubs, which
Yeah.
clubs would you pick?
I'm even going less than that. I'm going putter.
Okay.
I'm going a wedge,
Okay.
pitching, sand wedge, keep it simple.
Yep.
And then I'm going like a 7 or an 8,
Okay.
get a driver.
Wow, we're doing 5.
Yeah, that's what.
Or no, that's 4.
Well,
Sorry.
Yeah, I saw counting, but
Yeah.
I was relying on you.
But even
yeah, no, it's keep it simple, you know, and you can go in like, a lot of courses have it too. We have it at Dobson where we have big barrels of experienced golf balls. It's a nice way to say used. And
oh my God, I love that.
it's $1.50 a ball, you know, or $13.99 for a dozen there. And it's like, you can get those golf balls, you know. I think we're again caught up in like needing the Pro V1s and stuff like that. It's like, you can get a cheaper golf ball too. So
Okay, I like that. How about at the range at Dobson? So again, Coach Natalie, she works at Dobson Ranch. The range and practice facility there, which Alex holds a lot of Babes golf events there too, is amazing. So they tell us about it so that everyone knows this is pretty central in Phoenix, even though it's Mesa. Like I feel like it's easy to get to, fast to get to. So let us know about Dobson Ranch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. I always forget there's 41, 42 bays and they all now have Top Tracer, which is really cool. If you don't know Top Tracer, it's the similar what Top Golf has. It's where it tracks your golf balls, distance, ball speed, all that stuff. And then you can play virtual courses, which is awesome, which is also a great start for the beginner golfer where you don't have to have, you know, the stress of going onto the golf course and playing 9 holes, 18 holes or whatever. You can actually play it right then and there. And it's pretty accurate for what it is. It's really cool. So that they have that. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it's there. And and then there's 3 different sizes of buckets, ranges from $6 to $18 for the large bucket.
Yeah. $18. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It is.
It is, but the ranch card gets deals. So we have ways to get you discounts.
Okay. So let's explain that. So when you're going to practice, let's say you don't belong to a club, but you're looking to practice consistently, somewhere like Dobson Ranch does have an option of a range pass.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so it's our ranch card or the smash pass. So 2 different options. The ranch card is a one-time payment and it gets you like $2 off your large buckets, $1 off your medium, and then half off on Top Tracer. So Top Tracer is usually $15 for the hour there, but you can get it half off. Or the smash pass, it's a monthly program. It's $19.95 a month, and then you get a free hour Top Tracer every single day. And then you get $3 off your large, $2 off your medium. So there's ways to save. It also gets you the lowest rates on the golf course. $1 off drinks, food. Yeah, it's just a good overall card to have.
Yeah.
So
how would one go into a golf course and ask for something like this? Like if they offer it, just say, do you have deals on practice? Like
always
how would you ask?
Always ask.
How would you ask it though? Like literally tell us how you would ask that in a pro shop.
I think if I was going anywhere, I'd be like, hey, do you have like monthly specials or do you have like a year program that I can join? I know some courses even have like it where you pay a certain amount a month and then you get unlimited golf balls. You know, it kind of depends anywhere you go. But yeah, I would just always ask what the deals are.
Absolutely. Alex, what do you hear a lot with practice and what, is there any tips you give on finding a place to practice consistently on a budget?
I feel like more when it comes to practice people, it's hard for them to find the time, but I don't really hear about the costs. I didn't really realize until I actually came here how expensive golf has gotten. And I know it's a seasonal thing, but it does make it really difficult to get out if the round costs you $250 to $500.
Yeah.
So I know that's really difficult. But I would suggest there's so many people opening indoor golf simulators now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always like a cheaper option than going to play a round of golf somewhere. Like Natalie was saying, you can go to Top Tracers and play around there.
Yeah.
And just until the rates go down a little bit.
Exactly. So how about let's talk, I do want to talk about golf rounds and how to get some deals on that, but let's talk first about lessons.
Mhm.
Okay. Or clinics. Cause I just had someone message me today and say, hey, do you have any recommendations for a teaching professional here in Scottsdale? And I hesitate because I know how expensive it is. It can range from $100 to, $500 per hour for some of these teaching professionals.
Mhm.
And most of them are really good, but it's just such a huge investment. So how would you go about, Natalie, like finding some other instruction that might not be as expensive, or if you're willing to pay that amount for a private lesson, like what advice do you have for them to find someone?
Sure. I think finding someone that you connect with 100%, someone that you feel comfortable asking, those quote unquote silly questions. Like there's, so someone that you feel comfortable with. And I don't even think it needs to, like, you don't need to find the person, and maybe do, it's totally up to you, but you don't need to find the person that has taught, all the PGA pros and like all that stuff. I think, and I know I just said it, but someone that you connect with, someone that's relatable to the game as well. And I know out here, especially, like prices have ranged from a crazy rate. Like I know some coaches out here that are like $500 for the hour. And that's like so crazy coming from like Northern California. I know everywhere is getting pricey, but yeah. So seeing that number was insane. The way that I do it going into this year, I've learned that I want to have my very first lesson for anyone being completely free.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking to steal anyone's money. I'm looking to simply grow the game. And I want to know that we connect and that you like how, my teaching style.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be horrible to pay a large number and then after an hour be like, what did I learn? Or like not even feel good about your own swing. So completely free. And then after that, we can kind of base it from there.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of my thing.
The golf clinics out there, they are hard to find,
Mhm.
but there are some, even specifically to women's golf clinics out there, which can be much less expensive. Let's say maybe between $30 and $50 per person. And there'll be a group of 10 to 20 women there. So that's another option. They're just harder to find, but I'm seeing them more and more. So that's good.
I started doing a lot more research here just to see what women golf instructors are out there. And there is so much, there's so many ladies that are doing women's golf clinics, small groups. And I recently came across one, I can't recall what course she was at, but she was doing small group clinics for $25 a person. And then I also just recently started working with Mariah. She's at Bel Air Golf Club, and she's doing small group clinics too. So it's a great way to try out the coach, see if you like it. And if you want more one-on-one attention, then you can go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get into golf rounds. So here in Arizona, I believe it is one of the most expensive states to play golf in, especially in season. So we definitely have a season here in Arizona, which is November to, let's say, November 1st to May 1st. And during that time, greens fees are high. They are high. So what are some tips you have to finding greens fees that are, that are a little less expensive? Did your phone just say on it?
Yeah, she's.
Oh my God,
she's
Siri's chiming in.
She's trying to find those low deals.
Searching.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe she had some feedback for
some
us.
good tips.
Yeah.
So what do you have?
I just got distracted by
Here, so I'll go. So again, the rounds in Scottsdale and Phoenix are expensive in season, but you have to, like, if you're coming to visit the area, you might want to do like one of the courses that's very scenic and pricey and enjoy that one day. But there's so many other courses that are less expensive, maybe even under $100 per person for your foursome. And it might not be the most glamorous course, but they're good courses. Like just off the top of my head, I'm thinking about the Raven or Legacy in South Phoenix, Papago, Mountain Shadows even.
Encanto.
Encanto is a lot of fun. I
had no idea. It's great.
Did you guys have fun? Like, tell us about what you guys did.
Yeah. So we did a hot girl walk last weekend for our Babes Golf outing in Arizona. And Clara had set it up. She's one of our Babes Golf members. And she plays there like every Sunday and then does brunch after. So she's like, I want to bring the girls here. And it's all walking. And I was like, okay, like I think a lot of our girls haven't even tried walking yet. So we sent out etiquette on like what to do with your push carts, where, you know, where to walk, where not to walk. And some of the girls were like, I'm so nervous. Like, I don't know, like I've never walked before. And they all loved it. They were like, when are we doing this again? I was like, well, we can make this like a weekly thing. Like,
no, that it couldn't be like a hot girl walk league.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yes. I love that.
No, I love that. So Encanto, also known as the Yacht Club, has an 18-hole course and a 9-hole executive course. I've actually never played the 9-hole course before.
Haven't? It's so much fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
And it's a city course. I'm just going to put it out there. It's not in the best area. So that's why when I envision a tourist coming in or coming to visit Arizona, they might not think that is the most luxurious place, but it is a very fun.
When I showed up, I was like, where are we?
Are we really doing a hot girl walk here? But it is fun there. And that's where I struggle with, because I get asked almost on a daily basis, do you have course recommendations for Phoenix, Scottsdale? I'm coming to town. And I am not one to tell you, go to the Boulders, go to True North, go to TPC, go to like Greyhawk. Like they're so expensive. And to me, it's not worth it because I'm a local and it doesn't appeal to me like that. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like I want to tell them, go to Papago, go to Encanto, go to the Raven, go to these courses that are just, they're so much fun to play. And you might not get the most scenic views, but oh my gosh.
And if you're local, same with San Diego, you can get your residence card. In San Diego, I think it's like $25, which gives you access to Tori Pines for like, I've played golf out there for $34.
Unreal.
Yeah. So if you're a local, look up like what your local golf courses are and get the resident card. I think it's a little more expensive here. I think the resident card's $55. But it gives you great deals at Papago and Encanto, both 9 and 18. I'm not sure what other courses are on there.
Yeah. So if you're local to Arizona, and this is going to be very similar when you're asking pro shops in your area, all the city courses, Papago, Encanto, Cave Creek, Aguila, Palo Verde. I might be forgetting one other, but you can get a city pass. That's what they call them, I think. Or Phoenix Pass, something like that. And you get discounts on all the greens fees. But I would say just like San Diego, like you were saying, that's a very similar thing for all areas. Like you just have to find the right course to ask to sign up.
Yeah. And it's cool because the San Diego one not only includes Torrey Pines, but it has like Balboa. They have an 18 and a 9 and their 9 is actually very similar to Encanto's 9.
What do you think about Balboa? I played there.
I don't like the 18. I've lost a lot of balls there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not tricky.
It's not my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
I don't choose to golf there. I would rather play the 9 there.
I get what you're saying. Have you ever played Balboa?
No, I lived in San Diego. I lived in Carlsbad, but I never got to play there. I played at Tori though. I had that city card there and it was sweet.
The best.
Sweet.
But even Dobson Ranch, I love Dobson Ranch, but that would be so odd for me to say to someone that's coming to visit Phoenix, Scottsdale, oh, go play Dobson Ranch. Like it would just be a weird, like maybe if they're specific with me, like I need to go play somewhere under $100, then that would be a good suggestion. But still, I think people, when they're coming to visit Arizona, they're thinking they're going to get the scenic, super well groomed, fancy courses for under $100. And that's just not the case. You're lucky to get it under $200,
Yeah, that's how I felt when I played GCU. And I was the same thing. I was like, I rolled up in the pro shop or in the parking lot, and I was like, oh, this is where we are. This is where on the west side. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And GCU, that's the other city course that I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I have never played there.
It's actually a really fun course. Not in the best area, but it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cool. It's cool.
All right. So what other tips? So we went through lessons, clubs, going to a secondhand store for grabbing some clubs. That's a great idea. And I even think they do a little bit of fitting there, would be my guess, at Second Swing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I haven't been to Second Swing, but at the Golf Mart, there's guys there that can help you.
Yeah.
So
how about clothes? Buying golf clothes on a budget. I'm sorry. I splurge on my golf clothes. That's what I wear every day.
I think most girls do. That's like the fun part.
It's so fun. I would just suggest getting solids and getting basics and getting, 3 different solid skirts, black, white, navy, and then getting a couple shirts where you can totally mix and match with those bottoms.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a lot of more affordable brands out there for golf. And I think everyone's getting really good at it. And we have more options than we did before, but it's really cool. A lot of the girls in our group will share oh, I found this golf skirt on Amazon and I love it. And, it's $20, perfect. I'll buy every color.
Yeah, exactly. So. Natalie, do you love shopping for golf clothes and all of that? I mean, you live in it too. I mean,
I do. Yeah. I do. It's kind of funny though, because I am outside of golf, I am I'm a bra girl. I'm not a girly girl. I don't wear pink. I don't wear.
She does for the babes golf,
but I do in golf. My bag is pink. I rock pink in golf, but it's so funny outside of it. I don't. But also know where you're playing. Ask, if there is a dress code there, can you rock, a cool street brand t-shirt there or anything like that. So that's also part of it too. Yeah. I think everyone thinks that they have to have a collared shirt or, look a certain way, but you can have your own style with it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that is kind of playing on a budget. I did want to touch on planning golf events on a budget because this all kind of comes together with how expensive the golf industry is. And, all 3 of us are in the industry and we love to plan these events for female golfers. It really has turned into what my passion is, like organizing these events, bringing it together, building them and seeing them come to life. That is what I absolutely love. And I think Alex can agree with her side of it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to have it be affordable to everyone, or it's just very expensive.
Yeah. And when I started Babes Golf, I want golf to be more accessible for women. That's been my mission. And so it's really hard to be okay, how can I keep the costs down and try to get everyone involved? It's been really difficult, especially I've noticed out here. So doing those range meetups and stuff have been great for us, but doing golf outings, I'm looking at a starting cost of $150, and it's, I'm running a business, and I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if I wasn't smart about making sure that we are in budget and, we need to make money to keep it going. So it's really difficult because it's hard to charge more than $150 per person.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Would you say I think a lot of it too is making the connections with the golf courses too. Do you feel like that kind of helps your situation too? And actually having them understand what Babes Golf is and what you're trying to do?
Yeah, we've had some really amazing people. I had someone reach out to me yesterday from Troon, and he's like, how can we help you guys for all your California and Arizona events? We want Babes Golf out here. And awesome. I know. And so it's just really working with people because they want to see more women out there.
Yeah.
So that's been really special. But also for us, I feel like I have to remember it costs a lot, but also the experience, it's priceless.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Absolutely.
It is. So just know, we do the best we possibly can.
Yeah.
And we want to bring this community together as much as possible. I love it.
It's so fun.
It is the most satisfying. It makes me so proud just to see these groups of women out there loving this game and just like taking over these golf courses. I don't know. I just love it. I love just like pushing the dudes over,
It's
like
so fun.
to the side, like dudes move over. We are taking over. So, all right. So let's get into golf opportunities for women who work full time. And then it also can kind of go with being a mom and trying to fit it all in. So what has your experience been like working with women that have full-time jobs? They love golf. How do they fit it in? What's your take on that?
A lot of people that I work with work 9 to 5 jobs or have, the week jobs. So a lot of my events are actually at nighttime. So at the range, we'll do nighttime golf or on the weekends. So all our golf outings are always on the weekends. So we try to make sure that people can come after work, or they free up their weekend like a month in advance, just trying to make it more accessible for those people that are working.
Yeah. And speaking from the Arizona side, I know that there's even a specific league out there that's for working women. I don't know what they call it. I should have looked at that ahead of time. But if you contact the AGA, the Arizona Golf Association, they'll have contact information for you for this league that is just for women that have to play either after work or on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of look for those opportunities. But also practice-wise, it's like just getting out there when you can. Maybe it's a lunch break. Maybe it's a half hour after work before the sun goes down.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I get it. Natalie, do you have a lot of clients that are working full time and still trying to improve their game?
I do. Yeah, I have. I've had a couple of 6 a.m. lessons as well.
Oh.
I mean, it's easier in the summertime because obviously we don't get that right now. But yeah, I'll do a couple of 6 a.m. lessons, and that's the hard part, like from an instructor point of view, where it's like a lot of people want like a 6 a.m. lesson, but then they also want like a 7 p.m. lesson. So it's like, how do you balance out your day? But we figure it out. So yeah, just getting out there when you can, and then finding a driving range that is open, late enough. So
yeah, but that's a good thing to ask your instructor. Like, hey, do you do those early morning lessons? Because even someone like me, I would much prefer to do a 6 a.m. than a 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So maybe that's even better for them. You never know.
Absolutely.
So.
Always ask.
As far as being a mom, it kind of goes hand in hand. So there's going to be 9-hole leagues, and this is also for working moms too. There's 9-hole leagues out there that are in the morning during the week, where you can drop the kids off at maybe the club daycare, or maybe you have, someone to watch them for a small period of time. Or there's leagues after work hours that are maybe don't start till 5, but maybe they start at like 3:30 or 4. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of clubs that I have belonged to in the past have those options for you.
I think another thing that you can look into is like if it works out with like your schedule and your child's schedule, is like there's actually a lot of courses that offer junior golf programs too. So, and a lot of them are in the afternoon for like school schedules. So, I mean, if you can kind of line it up where you're like, you can go golf and like their class is like an hour and a half, you can go fit in a couple holes, or just at least a range session or something. Yeah. So
I'm glad you brought that up actually, because I went through a whole period. I have 3 kids, 16, 15, and 13. And they've all been through their phase of junior golf at the club. And when they would go do their junior golf, which was an hour long, it was like Thursdays from 4 to 5, I would stay there and I would practice that entire time. I totally forgot about that whole era of my life. Like that's when I would go practice.
Yeah. My last course that I worked at in California, me and another instructor worked that out, where like because I coached a lot of junior golf back there. And so I was like having my junior coach class, and I would always have all these parents just sitting on the bench. I'm like, you got to get some clubs, and you're going to go golf too. So she would have like an adult class, and then I would have like a kids class at the same time. So it was pretty cool.
Smart.
Oh my God. That is so smart. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So you fit it in where you can. Yep. So again, it comes down to anything. I always refer it to golf or practicing golf at the same as fitness. Like if you really want it, if you want it, you will find time to do it. And even if it's just squeezing it in your day, for 20 to 30 minutes, it's better than nothing. All right. Next up, do we want to get into a little how to deal with the dudes?
Let's do it.
I mean, we can go all different directions with this one. So what do the women tell you? What have you heard in the past with, because again, we are in a man's world when it comes to golf. It is predominantly men. It can be, I'm already kind of mentally preparing myself to go to the PGA show in a couple weeks and see all the men buying the women's clothes for the pro shops. Like, no. Does everyone realize that that's what they do? Like, it's men buying the women's clothes. Mm-hmm. And they have their blue blazer on, and sometimes there's multiples of them. I mean, the blue blazers are all over the place at the PGA show, but they are sitting there and they're buying the women's clothes. It is something else. Yeah. It's a sight. Yeah. So it's a man's world. So what have you heard from the ladies that are coming into the sport that maybe they're intimidated because of X, Y, and Z? What kind of things have you heard?
I always hear the stories of things that happened and how they dealt with it. For me, I feel like to deal with situations, I mean, it is very intimidating. You are in a man's world, and something's gonna come up. And I've been in plenty of situations myself, and knowing your golf game and knowing what you're talking about is like the best thing that could help you, because you're going to get people to say stuff to you. And if you act like you don't know what's going on, then they're really going to,
absolutely.
You just have to know your shit, know? Yep. And a more recent incident that I was with a few girls playing our little 9 or 18 hole executive course in San Diego. And we had started off, and there was a group in front of us who the girl was her first time playing golf. I love it. But I could tell they were there. They had their drinks ready to go. Like, they were there to party. It was 2 girls, 2 guys. And we wanted to just get a quick 18 in. It takes about 2.5 hours to play this golf course. And so we asked if we could jump. We were supposed to start before them, and they were in front of us. And we're like, hey, like, can we, go ahead and shoot off before you? And I heard one of the girls say like, oh, they're going to be slow because there was 4 of us girls. And she's like, because they're walking, because we all had push carts. And I was like, okay, this is her first time, so I'm just going to let that one go. Yeah. And then we ended up passing them. We are probably on like the 9th hole, and we had 2 ladies in front of us, and that group had been holding up the whole entire golf course. And we were actually on hole 11, and they were their fairway was right across from ours. And some guy, we were just about to tee off, and we were playing really good. Like, we didn't have anyone in front of us, so we were keeping pace and just up to the tee box. And some guy yelled, "Hey girls, hurry up! The whole hole in front of you is open." Oh. And I was like, he literally screamed across the fairway, and I looked at the girls like, is he serious? So I yelled back. I was like, there's no one waiting on us. There was, because the people behind us are the ones that were slowing them down. Yeah. And I think his friends were really embarrassed that he had even said anything, because he didn't know the situation. Like, he just saw the hole open in front of us, but it really wasn't us. It was the group that was behind us. Mm-hmm. So just knowing what to say, I guess, or just knowing about golf and like what you're doing, and making sure that you are being aware of pace of play, because you don't want to make anyone mad. And I know that's like the most intimidating part about golf, and when women get into it, because you don't want to do something wrong. You're afraid that you're going to do something wrong. So just like really knowing what you're doing. Yeah. I think is important.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you're only going to learn most of the things by getting out there and doing it and just experiencing it and learning. I mean, Justin and I made that program Before Golf that kind of answers as many questions as we possibly could on this little virtual online class, so that you know where to go, what to do, how, all the questions that we can answer for them. But a lot of these situations, like pace of play, for instance, like you don't know until you're out there and you feel what's going on, and you feel what a good pace is, and you see the people in front of you and see the people in back of you. So, but yeah, how about you, Natalie? What's it like working in the golf industry?
I've become a strong soldier after years of working in a pro shop. And I've so many, and still to this day, so many guys, when they're checking in for their tee time, will make so many absurd like jokes. And I've just learned to I used to laugh along with it just to kind of get by. But I think my power move is just staring at them. And it's worked really well for me.
Like when they say something totally inappropriate and dumb, you just stare
absolutely.
right back to them.
And I was like, and I totally agree. It's like knowing your stuff is important too. But
it's very empowering.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like yesterday we had our ladies league, and a guy was checking in like after them. He's like, how's the pace today? I was like, oh, it's great. Like ladies are doing great out there. We have the ladies league, blah, blah, blah. He's like, ugh, I know you're lying to me. I'm going to get out there. It's going to be slow. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Really?
I hope you gave him the stare mode.
I did. My poker, I should go play poker because my poker face is like awesome. And I'm just like, and then they don't know what to do. And then they're like, all right, well, I'm going to go. I'm like, yeah, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like it's an automatic assumption that women are slow.
Yeah.
We get that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, or that we are not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of assumptions out there, which it's unfortunate. I have to give one tip out. If you are looking to join a club, whether it's a golf club, a country club, or even a league, make sure you ask the women that are currently there, like, what's it like at this course? Do you like the men do you feel like the men in charge like women? Do you feel like they, do you feel, I almost want to say like valued that you're there?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you considered, not as important as the men? Because this country club atmospheres can feel very male dominated, and they're the most important, they're the quote unquote member, and we are secondary to them. So I encourage you, if you're looking into joining a club, ask the women that are already there. Like, how often can you get on the course? What is it? What's it like being out there? What's the environment like? Do you always feel welcome? Do you feel like, like you're in the way?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're the one causing the footprint problem? I've heard that one before. Like, more women out there means more women, or more people on the golf course. And, and that's why the golf courses are so packed or in bad shape. Like, I've heard that BS before. So
yeah. It's crazy. There's golf courses. I was talking to someone about this the other day. We have golf courses like, trend, like, we want babes golf here, and then there's golf course like that frown upon it, kind of, like all these people are coming. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
aren't you running a business?
Yeah.
Like, don't you want golfers? And so you do have to find your spot and where you feel comfortable, because there's plenty of courses out there like Dobson that make you feel so welcomed and like you are in place.
100%. And that's why I encourage everyone to just ask around first, because if one doesn't feel right, trust me, there's 10 of them out there that will feel amazing and that want you out there,
100%.
So, but yeah, just get out there and start learning as much as you can, and just feeling everything out, like know where things are. The more confident you are in what you're doing, the more you'll walk around with that confidence, and the dudes won't bother you. So
absolutely.
Anything else about that subject? If not, we'll finish up with our favorite. I don't know if I've ever brought this up before. Our favorite LPGA and PGA players. What do you got? Who's your favorite?
I'm going to say Nelly is my favorite LPGA. I know. I don't really know very many other ones, though. I'm embarrassed to say that.
That's okay. It's a reality, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nelly was mine too. So she was yours too, Natalie.
I love Nelly. Yeah.
And it's more just watching her swing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really something.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I used to be, I do enjoy Lydia Ko, watching Lydia Ko. And I was a huge Suzanne Pedersen fan back in the day when she was playing a lot. She was definitely my favorite. But is Nelly yours?
She's my top.
Yeah.
I also love Paula Creamer too.
Yeah.
So she's awesome.
Is Paula still playing at all, or is she? No, she's in mom mode right now. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
How about PGA players? Who do you enjoy watching? Natalie, you go first.
I don't know if you're on the same boat, but I have a confession.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't keep up with PGA Tour players. I also don't keep up with LPGA Tour players.
You're in the business, so you're not. It's just like going home and watching golf is like going home and working, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Like that.
I mean, I love watching it. I'll go to the Waste Management. I'll go to all the tournaments. I'll go to the Pure Insurance tournament. I'll do all the things, but I don't keep up with stats. Like there are some golfers that can tell you what Tiger did in 1962 on hole 7 at whatever course. I don't know those things.
Yeah. I mean, in 1962, was he alive? I'm not sure.
I don't even know that. I don't even know that. That was proof right there. Yeah. So
we got confirmation he was not alive yet. Thank you, Lee.
Get out of here, Lee. That's just the way I live.
Yeah. And I would say Tiger Woods is my favorite.
It is.
Just actually, I could watch him and Charlie every day.
Yeah. Oh no, that tournament is so much fun.
Yeah. Can they do that tournament like all the time?
Well, then it probably wouldn't be as much fun. But I think the reason we love it is because it's something different.
Yeah. Watching the pros play with their kids is like my favorite thing.
Yeah. That's something special. I am a big Bryson fan, and I was really a big, Phil and Tiger, obviously, but Rory too. But I am a Bryson DeChambeau fan for sure. And I'm sad that you don't really see him that much anymore because of the Live Tour. But that is,
I really love the drama between Brooks and him.
I love it.
Yeah, that was fun.
No, they're characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, ladies, thanks for being on today. I appreciate it. You mentioned the Phoenix Open. Are you both going to the Phoenix Open?
Yes.
You have to.
What's your biggest tip for someone going to the Phoenix Open for the first time?
Oh my gosh. Don't get GA if you don't have to.
Wait, GA means general admission?
Yeah, it's a frat party. Oh my gosh.
Well, wait, why? Why? Because you're just like...
You don't see any golf at all.
Well, if you don't walk past like that first section.
Yeah, if you get stuck in the first... Don't get stuck in the first section.
So if you have GA, walk past the bars. Yes. Get to the golf course.
Yes.
Yeah. I went for the first time last year. Last year was my first time. And it's me walking past. And I went on a Saturday, of course. I was like, this is going to be iconic. And then just walking past the people literally laying on the ground, at that time. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's
different.
It's hard for me. I went 2 years ago and I told myself I was never going to go again. But I'm obviously going this year with Babes Golf being out here. And I need to go and experience something different than I did last time, because I had gone to Waste Management after I went to the AT&T Pro-Am at Pebble, and it's so different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I loved going to Pebble and watching like the celebrities play, and it's just like so classy and like iconic, like being at Pebble. And then going to Waste Management after, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not...
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
What would you, for myself, I'll put out a tip. I mean, if you want to watch the golf and you want to have a more maybe traditional golf tournament experience, just go on Thursday or even Sunday, because Sunday is usually the same day as the Super Bowl, and it's pretty tame on Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to go and watch golf, definitely go during the week. The weekend, like... I got annoyed because there's people in front of you that are just like so drunk and like not even realizing like this guy's putting right now. You know, it's like so hard to watch. It's like cringing.
Yeah.
So it just depends on like what you're going for, I guess. But there's something for everyone there.
And what would be your tip for what to wear to a professional golf tournament?
I would wear very comfortable shoes because there's a lot of walking, especially at the Waste Management, just to get in there. There's so much walking, getting in and out.
You could think that like you're going to an amusement park. Like that's almost as much walking and standing that you're doing. I mean, you can sit down. There's places to sit down on the grass, but just it's a lot of like you're going to get your 10,000 steps in that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wear a hat too.
Yeah. Wear a hat. I think it's really cute when you wear golf clothes. Like it's appropriate and go sporty. I know a lot of people dress up, like dress to the nines and go in heels and like you see it all.
Yeah, you really do.
But I mean, I'm a little bit older now. And I don't recommend that. I like to wear sporty.
But I get that question a lot though. What do you wear to to, when you're going to watch a professional golf tournament. And I say pretty much the same thing. Golf clothes is totally good. Athletic wear, just, comfortable shoes for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank you, ladies, for being on. I appreciate it. We will for sure see you again. And I think the Babes Golf event will be before the next time you're on the pod, but I am very happy to have you here. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out the show notes for all the details on today's show. If you haven't already, please give a 5-star written review on your favorite podcast platform, or even screenshot this episode and send it to your golf buddies. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the first tee in a couple days.